6 million a day. Yeah. Well, I think Michael Saylor has been loading up with all the Bitcoin I think that he can buy. I think he's actually run out of Bitcoin in several instances because, of course, they want to buy it at a premium. And no matter how wealthy you are, even in the case of Michael Saylor, they still have to pay market rates because it doesn't matter how much money you have, Bitcoin doesn't care. So that's really powerful for all of us that may have a smaller amount, maybe hoping to get more. You know that there are people, the wealthiest people in the world right now are trying to acquire as much as there is of it out there. As a matter of fact, most miners are not producing enough for just the demand that's out there right now. Fortunately, there's always people like we talked about last time that will sell of the network for the Bitcoin miners. They've actually gotten a little soft. A lot of them have turned their machines off, waiting for the price to go up higher. And they don't know if it will go up higher, but they do know that if it goes down lower, they're not going to be able to keep mining. Now, the really big guys, they've made so much money that they don't really care. They're already at the point now where all they're trying to do is accumulate more Bitcoin. But those that are, say, started out within the last year or two, those guys still need to make a profit. They have utilities to pay, they have staff to pay, they have machines to replace and stuff like that. So you got to figure that with all of this demand for Bitcoin and all the new ETFs that are coming up as well, there's just not enough out there right now. So this last little while, we've seen a pretty good crash down in Bitcoin. It's actually come down, well, I think about we were seeing it at about 95, 96, and now it's down to about 85,000 Canadian. So that's a pretty dramatic drop in a very short space of time. You know, most of us that are in the industry just see this as a buying opportunity. It's the time to acquire some more Satoshis and, put your long-term cap on and hope that it doesn't go down anymore. But in the same token, if it does, you just start buying more. And, a lot of us in this industry have been doing that for years, and it works out really, really well. It's just that you gotta time it right. I don't think that the pump is over. And as a matter of fact, the Peanut kind of agrees with me. I posted on Facebook just yesterday. I posted some technical analysis about what B-Nuts thinks is going to happen by the end of the month. And it's pretty promising. He's looking at, I think, a closing rate of around 90,000 Canadian for the end of the month, and it's at 85 right now. So if that ends up working out, that's really good. But more importantly, even after looking at all the technical analysis, he's still determined that we're not going to crash. So worst case scenario, you're looking at maybe 80,000, 74 to 80,000 Canadian, and best case scenario, around 90,000. Having said that, nobody knows anything, right, including the AI. Because even though he's analyzing all the previous indicators and the technical analysis, the MACD, RSI, also doing sediment, and also doing some of the stuff that I can't even remember all the stuff that he does. I program it into him, then unfortunately I can forget about it because now he knows it, right? So I've put most things into there now. And B-Nuts is available to anyone that has an OpenAI paid account. He's out there for the public to use. Some of the other GPTs that I've created, I haven't released for public use yet, but that particular guy is. And all you'd have to do is look under CryptoNutz, under ChatGPT. You have to have the subscription to ChatGPT to be able to use him. But some of our members are using him, and he's quite smart. He does technical analysis. You can literally take a screenshot of a coin or token that you're interested in, upload it to him, and say, please give me a technical analysis on this and let me know what you think is going to happen in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, or what have you. And so that's available. Anybody that wants to use it is welcome to use it. I know a lot of the members are using it. He's pretty intelligent. He's got more stuff built into it than just that. There's the full capabilities of being able to look out on the web to get current information. He has programming capabilities, so if you needed a small program done, say an Excel spreadsheet, or if you needed some Python code done, he's fully capable of doing that. He can even create you a website if you wanted to. You just got to know how to ask the questions. That's what this is all about with AIs. It's not, usually the capabilities are there, but our capabilities are not. We don't know the right questions. Just like in life, you have to know the right questions to ask. And the GPTs and the large language models are the same. If you've got the right questions, you can get the right answers. But learning how to ask the right questions sometimes is pretty hard. And anything that's based on, the human corpus of information that's out there, he's going to have access to, so he would know what that is. And you could actually program that in through natural language. You could say, please use the Socratic method of analysis and ask me the appropriate questions as required to get to the answer that I want. And you can go into any kind of detail you want like that. That's how you can create your own customized chat GPTs. Like I created one for tax law, I created one for programming, I created one for time management. I've created quite a few of them, and they're all very, very powerful. And then if you get the interface where you can start using them together, you get something that's almost like having people working for you. It's very cool. And now I've started experimenting with local large language models so that it's not out there on the internet. It's just located right there on my computer. I've bought quite a fancy high-end computer with a really high-end graphics card, and it's capable of running some pretty powerful large language models. And the beauty of that is that's not out there on the open internet. That's my own private thing that I can put as much data into it as I want. I can have it look at all my old information that I've used over the years and give analysis based on that. Anything that you have that's in PDF format or in plain text format or even RTF format, you can just upload that all into your own private large language model and have it do analysis for you and tell you things about yourself that maybe you didn't even know. So yeah, maybe some things you might not want to know either. That's true enough on that one. But so anyways, that's just a sort of a little preamble. I'm still working on getting the interface. I'm going to run a large language model right through the Telegram chat, but it's turned out to be a little more complicated than what I thought, because if I tie it in through my account with ChatGPT based on what I'm looking at, the charges are going to be astronomical, even if it gets used a little bit. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get this local machine running here, and then I'll post it up when the language model is available. I found a really cool one actually that I'm running right now, completely uncensored. But when you get an uncensored large language model, it can answer freely. It's not, doesn't have restrictions in what it can say to you. So say, for instance, you've got a competitor that's beating you up, and you could literally give the competitor's web address and tell it what the competitor is doing to you, and ask it, what measures can I take to prevent these kind of things from happening? And it'll actually give you that kind of information when it's an uncensored one. Now you could also ask it to do a lot of really nasty things, but all of these large language models, it comes right at the beginning and it says anything that you create or do with this is your responsibility. So the uncensored ones are becoming more popular now and more powerful, and it really opens up some potential to do almost anything. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fascinating. You can do a complete business, you can research it, you can get all the information, you can have it then. After I did that, I had it create a prompt for me, and I had it create logos and things like this. So you can, all this stuff that used to take me weeks and weeks and weeks to do with a new company, I can literally do in a matter of hours now. So it's kind of fun, kind of mind-boggling. You can take, you can let your imagination go wild. What kind of business do I want to create today? And it'll analyze it for you, and it'll tell you what the competition's doing, and it'll tell you almost any business or any industry that you're in right now. You can use large language models to get ahead of the competition because almost nobody knows about it. It's kind of mind-boggling to me that more businesses are not using this. More businesses don't have a powerful computer sitting there that is a local business large language model. That's just a window that's closing really fast. This is going to be a necessity. This is going to be like in the days when people didn't have computers, and some of the people were still writing all their stuff in columns and pluses and minuses, and then a guy came along that's his competitor, and all of a sudden he got rid of all of this stuff because he got a computer with an accounting program on there. And that's the same thing that we're experiencing here now with large language models. In a very short order, if you don't have a powerful large language model that you either A, pay through a subscription service online like OpenAI or something like that, or B, better yet, one that you have located locally right at your business that is doing whatever you need it to do, including things like doing crypto research and finding out what are the best tokens out there, and having it scour all the news groups or the Reddit groups and pull out any information based on tokens that you're interested in, and then give you like a 1 to 10 list of the top 10 based on the criteria that you've put into it. So when you're looking for new projects to invest in, you can't beat researching with a large language model, especially one that's connected directly to the internet, because you can have it do things like go to CoinMarketCap, go to any one of the research platforms out there, and pull that information for you, and then put it together in a simple, easy to understand kind of way, which is hard to do for most people, especially if you have limited experience. So since this is the NewBie Tuesday, and it's not our regular meetup, that's I think where it comes into play. Newbies can ask questions that, you know, maybe they're embarrassed to ask out in the open. Maybe they just want to ask tax questions that nobody would really know. Or maybe they want to know about the basics. And you can go into almost any large language model, including OpenAI, which you can all download and put on your phones right now. It's OpenAI. You got to make sure you get the right one, but as long as you do openai.com is the proper company. And once you do that, you can load an app from your phone, and you can use the free version and have a very powerful large language model for absolutely free. To have this kind of technology as little as 5 years ago would have cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. And now everybody has access to it and nobody is using it. I can't figure this out. I don't get it, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go into that one, but it's more just telling people about cryptocurrency and getting the message out there that we now have control over the value that we own. This has never happened before, and I harp on this almost every single meetup, is that up until now, we've always trusted other people with our value, whether that's gold or silver or, you know, your hard-earned money that you try and save every single month. It's just going down in value every single year. So now you've got something that's different, something like cryptocurrency that appreciates in value because there's limited supply. So especially with Bitcoin, there's limited supply. There's only so much out there. So once it's gone, and then it's just going to be traded. And that's already starting to happen now because the fees for mining are going up all the time. So Winnipeg BTC sponsors the meetups. So at CryptoNutz Facebook page and at CryptoNutz on X, no, it's KR Carthy on X, but at CryptoNutz on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So we've kind of put it out everywhere, and I try and post some of the videos up there, and also I try and post information as I gather information from the AI. Like before the last pump of Bitcoin, months before that, the AI started telling me, hey, buddy, this stuff is going to take off. And so I started posting about that for everyone, anyone that I was talking about it at the meetups as well. So anybody that actually paid attention and started buying a little bit of crypto actually did extremely well. Okay, so Facebook page, CryptoNutz.com. Well, I took CryptoNutz.com and it just goes to Facebook now because I was getting hacked so much, it just got frustrating. I didn't bother. We do have a Discord channel, but we're doing more with Telegram right now. And so anybody that wants to access the Telegram, if you just